Hi, I'm Gabby. I want to thank you for checking out my blog. And one of the biggest reasons why I decided to do the blog was over the past 10 years I've had some serious failures in trying to lose weight and get healthy. And I did the yo-yo dieting thing, couldn't ever get it quite right. And in the last few years I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've had a lot of success. And I've lost 120 pounds and I've gotten fit and healthy. And one of the biggest things that I've learned in the last few years is you need to weight train and you need to build muscle mass. And it's not just about cardio, which is great and you need that, but you also need to build some lean muscle mass to keep your metabolism stoked and keep your body burning calories for you all day long. So that's one of the things that I learned that really helped me along. And you can weight train in a lot of different ways. You can use free weights, you can use resistance bands, you can go to your local gym and hit a circuit on the machines, you can use medicine balls. There's a lot of different ways. Even using your body as weight resistance, such as doing push-ups and pull-ups and lunges and squats. One of my favorite forms of weight training is the kettlebell. And what I'm going to do today is run you through some kettlebell exercises. I have a workout that's predominantly for the arms. But one of the great things about a kettlebell is that it is really a total body workout. Even if you're specifically trying to target one area, the other areas are going to get worked just from the nature of what the kettlebell does. And you'll see that as I'm going to show you arm exercises, but you'll also see how it works the legs and the core. Basically any muscle that you have is probably going to be touched upon no matter what kind of kettlebell workout you're doing. So as you can see, I have a arm workout that I'm going to follow, and I'm not going to actually do the entire workout in its entirety for you. I'm just going to quickly go through and instructionally show you how to do each exercise. So we're going to start with an exercise called around the waist. And as you can see, my kettlebell, I'm going to be taking some weights out of here. This is a selectable kettlebell, which means you can add and take away weights as you like. And one thing about the kettlebell is you do build muscle very quickly. So when you go to the local Walmart or Target and you buy yourself a kettlebell, you find quickly that you need a heavier weight. It is that effective of a workout. So this was about $80, $90 retail, and you can probably find them on sale somewhere else or anywhere, Amazon. But it's a really handy tool to have because you can, instead of spending a ton of money on a whole bunch of different kettlebells, you can just have one and use that. So we're going to go back to the first exercise, which is called around the waist. With all kettlebell exercises, you're going to have your feet shoulder width apart, and all your knees and your toes are all going to be pointed forward. Okay, this is going to prevent strains and pulls. Proper form is really important, just like it is in anything else. So we're going to start with around the waist, and what this is, it's actually an ab exercise. It looks like it's an arm exercise because you're using your arms to move the kettlebell around your waist. But as you can see, my bottom half is perfectly still. My legs are like planted in cement, and that's how you have to picture your legs, like they're in cement and they can't move. Your hips also should be in place. Now, in order to do this properly, you have to engage your abs and tighten them up. It's like as if somebody was about to punch you, you would tighten your abs up to prepare for that punch. That's how you're going to engage and hold your abs throughout the entire workout. And almost every kettlebell workout, you need to do that with almost every exercise because you're using stabilization to help you target certain areas. Once you do your reps the one way, you're going to take it and you're going to go the other way. Anytime you do anything on the right side or generate from the right side, you're going to then have to generate from the left side. It's a balancing act. You don't want one side of your body to be stronger than the other. So that's called around the waist. And even though it's predominantly an abdominal exercise, it's a great warm-up exercise. And I usually do that first before any of my workouts, no matter what I'm trying to target. We're going to move on to swings. Swings are really fun, and they're almost everybody's favorite. And what you're going to do is feet shoulder width apart, and you're going to come down in a squat motion, and you're going to bring the kettlebell up to your chin. And you're going to thrust your hips up, and that's kind of how you're going to throw up the kettlebell. You're going to thrust your hips up. So that's a two-handed swing. We're going to move on to single swings. Same exact motion, but you're only using one hand. So again, if you're only using one hand, you're going to have to do it on the other side. So this is a single swing. I have my opposite arm out to help me with balance. Once you get through the reps, just going to switch arms. Again, you're going to thrust your hips up. And those are single swings. Great for your arms, but also your legs because you're doing the squat movement. Okay, we're going to move on to military press. This is not a squat motion. Your legs are going to stay stable, and you're going to hold the kettlebell in a rack position. So if you have the kettlebell on the ground, you're going to pick it up, twist your arm, and bring it behind your shoulder. Military press, opposite arm out. You're going to go straight up. This is all arms. Should not be moving your body. You should not be doing this using your legs or your whole body. That's wrong. Your proper form is to just strictly go straight up. Again, you got to do the other side. Straight up. That's your military press. Okay, I'm going to go on to crusher squats. Crusher squats are pretty intense, so you want to start out small, maybe 5 reps, build yourself up. You may not even be able to do 5 reps. You got to start where you start, and that's it. And you just build up from there. You're going to hold the kettlebell by the ball of it, and you're going to hold it like you're really actually trying to crush it. You don't want to cradle it. You want to crush it. You're going to come down into a deep squat, and then when you raise up, you're going to do an overhead press. Let me show you a few. Okay, those are crusher squats. Again, start small, build yourself up. Okay, we're going to move on to arm punch. Traditionally, you hold the kettlebell by the handle like this. With an arm punch, you're going to have your thumb sideways to help you stabilize. You're going to come out. It's a swinging motion, but a punching motion. You got to be careful. You can really knock yourself out, especially in the beginning. Try to use a lesser weight until you get used to this movement. You're going to punch out. As you punch, you fall into a squat. You're going to want to do that on the other side as well. Okay, a bent row. If you have heavier weights, you're going to want to use them. I'm going to go ahead and put all my weights in here for the bent row. Okay, the bent row, you put your kettlebell next to you. You're going to be in like a skiing position. Everything pointed towards you, towards the front of you, and you're going to grab the kettlebell and you're going to come straight up. You have this arm out for balance. This is not a swinging motion, this is straight up. And again, you're going to need to do the other side as well. The next row is called an upright row. You're going to grab it with both handles and you're going to bring it up to chin height. This is your upright row. So there you go. That is your arm kettlebell workout. One thing I just want to point out is keep a firm grip of your kettlebell. You can knock it through a TV or through a wall or through another person for that matter. I've let go of mine a few times in the beginning. You got to get used to it. You got to be careful. It can be dangerous, but it is an effective workout. So go get yourself a cheap one, start, and you'll be building muscle before you know it.